How do I tell my boyfriend I don't want kids? Hi, me and my boyfriend are both 20 and are very happy together, but there's one issue: he really wants kids, a huge family, since he has a huge family. Siblings of 6. Meanwhile, I don't want kids. I've tried telling him I don't want kids, but he just says, "I'll be there to help you." I love him very much and don't want to break up, and I'm scared this will lead to the end of the relationship. I just don't ever want to be a mother. Some people are born to be a mother and some aren't. I can barely look after myself. Even if I was to lie and say I don't want to be a mother until 30 due to we are so young, that doesn't solve the issue. I just don't know what to do. Could anyone please give me some advice on how to handle this situation? Update. I told him and he was willing to stand by me without kids. I didn't want to hold him back with his future with kids, since I know it means so much to him. It would have been cruel on my behalf, so I broke up with him. Thank you to everyone who responded. I appreciate that very much. Please have a lovely day. This should absolutely lead to a breakup. It's one of the foremost important compatibilities. If you don't match up here, all the other great stuff doesn't matter. Decision time. 1. Stay together and have fun knowing it is doomed. 2. Split up now so you are available to meet someone who shares your life goals. I am child-free by choice. And I am here to tell you that if you love this man, you need to end this relationship. Show him your love by ending this relationship with honesty and respect. It will be hard, but you will absolutely be doing the right thing. Because this relationship will never work. There is simply no compromising on this issue. And the longer you evade this fact, the harder it will become. Neither of you are bad or wrong. You are just bad and wrong for each other. I can promise you that he is absolutely sure you will change your mind and have children. Absolutely. Why? Because he has no concept of a child-free life. And that's fine for him. The problem is that it's not fine for you. Good luck. Hey BF. Please understand that I will never want children. Telling me you will be there to help won't ever change my mind. If you cannot live without children, then we are going to have to break up. Because you will have to separate. There is no way out of this unless one of you changes your mind, I'm afraid. The worst thing you can do is let him think you will change your mind. Be honest now before either of you waste more time in a relationship that has no future. Look, you have to tack his ass down and say, I'm absolutely dead serious right now. I do not want kids. I will never want kids. I love you. I want to be with you. But you absolutely have to understand that if having children is necessary for your happiness, as you cannot be with me. I had to have that convo, and it took years for me to really manage to spell it out like that properly. We had once been on the same page, but as time went on, he decided he did want kids. Or maybe he did all along. And just figured I would change my mind. IDK. Anyway, turns out I did not. It really is the biggest deal breaker. You gotta firmly shut that door and nail it shut. And things work themselves out from there. Possibly with another person. Having kids is one of the main staples of a relationship that all parties need to explicitly be on the same page about. There's always the, you could change your mind, crowd that never understands that it's harder. Change your mind back after having a kid. With all of that being said, you need to flat out ask if he'd be okay with the idea of never having kids and being with you. If he isn't okay with that idea, it's perfectly acceptable to end your relationship. At that point, this isn't a failure by any measure, and you should never consider it to be one. Otherwise, it may be something that, in an otherwise perfect relationship, might still nag at you both. This is a discussion you have right up front. It's totally okay for you to not want kids. 44F. am child-free by choice. But he wants kids. That's not something you can compromise on. That said, it's pretty unlikely to end up staying with someone you dated in your teens or early 20s. So if you've told him that you don't want kids and decide to ride this relationship out and just have fun, that's fine too. But I think you need to tell him one last time that kids are not on the table. Ever. So if he wants to keep having fun, super. If not, break up. I'm scared this will lead to the end of the relationship. It will. But that's not a bad thing even if it will be painful. Kids are one of the few true deal breakers. You cannot compromise on kids if one person is a hard no and the other is a hard yes. You both deserve to be with people who want the same things you want. Unfortunately, you have to just rip the band-aid off and tell him, I know for sure that I don't want kids, and as hard as that is, it means we're not right for each other. He will likely try to talk you into it. But you know your own mind. Him being a good dad is irrelevant if you don't want to be a mom. Don't want to break up, and I'm scared this will lead to the end of the relationship. This is the end of the relationship. You may not be mature enough to realize it or just don't want to see it. But the kindest thing for both of you was to end it long ago or never get in it. Certainly it's time to be done now. This relationship has no future. YPU tell him, BFU, and I don't want the same thing out of life. I never want to be a mother and you want lots of kids. We are fundamentally incompatible. We need to end our relationship so we can find people who want the same things we want. You cannot find the right person. And neither can he. While you fill your life with the wrong person, quit trying to make a relationship that will inevitably end work. If you really love him and he loves you, you need to let each other go and find people who can give you what you want. It's not fair for you to lead him on. You both are fundamentally different. Let him go. This is one thing you cannot compromise on. If you continue this relationship, you will bring more hurt to both of you. He truly believes you will change your mind. You guys are not compatible. This is either going to break you up or one of two is going to end up deeply, deeply unhappy for your whole lives. Breaking up is what would be best for both of you. This should have been discussed before things got serious, and shoop DNT have gotten serious if you weren't on the same page. You just tell him, honestly, you have no future with this guy. Children are a make or break topic. If you don't want the same things, you don't have the relationship either of you truly want. It's not fair on either of you to pretend it might happen one day when you know it won't. You cannot compromise here. Seriously, if there is one thing you can't compromise on, it's children. You need to be honest with him, and you also need to make sure your birth control is tamper-proof. Do not let him provide condoms. Do not leave your pills out. Have a plan if you do get pregnant. I don't know your BF, so I don't know how he'll react. But many men have sabotaged birth control to trap their partners with babies. You know he wants kids. You know that you do not want kids. You break up and let him live his life. Do not be the person to waste his time or yours. This would be bad. I married someone that wanted kids and I was wanting to be child-free. They then agreed it would be okay to not have kids. Once we got married, he started in on wanting to have kids again. I thought I could change your mind, and blah blah blah. No MFKR. I didn't want kids. Accidents happened later, and now I am expecting my second and final child. Not his though. I divorced his toxic self. Do not stay with someone that wants kids. They won't stop wanting kids. This is a conversation to have on the first, second, or third date. Children are not something you can compromise on. They also change every aspect of life. You may not want them, and that's great. He wants them, and that's great too. But because this is an all-or-nothing situation, the two of you have to have a serious discussion. Your basic values are incompatible. Sad, but true. Do not lie to him. Sit him down ASAP and explain to him how serious you are about not having kids so he can leave if he wants. I get you don't want it to end, but it's not fair for him to be strung along and miss out. The way to tell him is breaking up. Plain and simple. Hurtful, yeah, but hey. That way you don't end up with a man trying to get you pregnant every single time you have sex, making all those feelings of love turn into hate. And aside, let him probably find someone who does want to have kids and you to probably meet someone who shares the idea of not having kids like you. I don't want kids, there you go. The longer you stay in this relationship, the longer you give him hope and lead him on. You won't change your mind, but he probably keeps hoping. The longer it goes, the more the breakup is gonna hurt.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.